Welcome back
To the Medium Cool Show.
Today we're going to be talking about McCabe and Mrs. Miller, directed by Robert Altman from 1971, starring Warren Beatty and Julie Christie.
Any money you put in the house says you won't lose nothing. And we'll make it 50-50.
Excuse me, already got a whorehouse operating.
You can't call them crib cows, whores. I'm talking about a proper sporting house with class girls and clean linen and proper hygiene.
Well, I don't think you're going to find my clientele up here too interested in that sort of thing.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, we're talking about that today.
Dude, one for them, one for us.
Yeah.
And this one's for us, dude. Because this is a fucking banger of a movie.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece for sure. New Hollywood classic gem. Yeah, absolute masterpiece. Robert Altman, like, peak of his game.
Dude.
You might have never heard of this film because, I don't know, it just kind of probably went under the radar, even for its time, but it's been like...
It got really bad reviews at the time, too.
Yeah, but Pauline Kael loved it. Because Pauline
Kael loves Altman.
Yeah.
She just loves Altman, which, rightfully so, dude. I fucking love Altman, too. But, like, they had a fucking relationship. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
They had a relationship.
Like, sexually? That's
what's implied.
Damn. Yeah, like, McCabe and Mrs. Miller, like, I always heard about this movie. Like, it's in Easy Riders, Raging Bulls. I heard about it in film school and stuff, but we never, like, it was the one blank in the Robert Altman filmography that, like, I needed to watch, and we finally watched it with Jake from the Cinnabums.
Yeah.
And, bro, like, honestly, like, there was like, a moment in it where I was, like, about to cry, dude.
You're about to fucking cry?
Just because of how fucking, like, beautiful it is, and I'm just like, dude, movies like this never get made anymore,
dude,
bro.
I know, dude. It's got such a unique look to it. Such a unique look that you would never be able to replicate on digital nowadays.
No.
And,
yeah.
Dude, it's so fucking good. This movie at the time, I remember, is like, reading in Easy Riders, Raging Bulls, he's coming off of MASH, right? Warren Beatty wants to direct this, and Warren Beatty at the time is also a rising star, and also is like a control freak like Altman. So they have these two control freaks working on this one project. Altman uses new sound systems, which like really fucking like throw people off. I think that was the biggest critique people had in this film, is like, it's impossible to fucking hear anything.
Yeah.
Which, it is impossible to hear anything. You should fucking definitely watch this with closed captions, but it's such a fucking masterpiece. Such a good movie. Definitely falls in the category of an anti-Western.
Yeah, it's not a typical Western, like, spaghetti Western, like, shoot 'em up type movie. It's very realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely has a very nihilistic New Hollywood ending to it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, the ending to this is just really interesting. I'm not going to spoil it, but, there is the only thing that's unrealistic that kind of has it is when he like shoots the guy right in the head.
Yeah.
That's like a dead eye shot. That's like,
Yeah.
But everything else with this movie is like really about a guy who's trying to start this like mini town out in the Pacific Northwest in Washington, outside of the authority of like the US government and corporations, and then him succeeding and failing at the same time due to the fact that his success is also his failure. Because
he gets too successful.
Yeah, he gets too successful. He doesn't want to sell his property, or he's not going to sell it for a low price where they're just technically fucking him over. So they decide they just want to take the land from him.
And that means they're going to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy. Warren Beatty is like fucking great in this too.
Oh yeah.
He's such a good actor, dude. And like I can see why he was such a star in the 70s. And he had so much sway. Because, dude, that shot where he's just, like, at the beginning with the, oh, my God, we have to talk about the fucking Leonard Cohen score, too.
Yeah.
That shit's so sick. That's so iconic, too. And fucking where he's just in that bar, and there's that shot, maybe you've seen it if you've heard of this movie, where it's a zoom in on Warren Beatty in the bar, and he just smiles with his cigar, And he's got his little, silver tooth or whatever, like, oh, it's so sick, dude.
Yeah. And just this movie, like, I felt like it was everything there was happening for real.
Yeah.
It's like everything feels like so well done, like the town, the characters. It just feels like it's really like happening in this world really actually exists. And that's just like the power of celluloid and like the outdoors and like the real sets, and
Mm-hmm.
they had the crew dress up as like cowboys of the time so they could just be in the background while they're like working. They're like building the set while they're shooting the movie.
Yeah, it's shot in chronological order so they can fucking build it up.
Yeah.
Which
yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah, that's just it's sick as fuck.
Dude. And you know what? Like, the other cool thing is, like, he employed carpenters who were fucking, since they shot in Canada, were on the run from being drafted into the Vietnam War.
Damn.
So he employed people that were, like, dodging the draft.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that was so sick. That's such an Altman thing to do. But yeah, there's a lot of, like, really cool facts about the, like, behind the scenes of this film.
Yeah, and also I like, dude, the little train thing that they bring in.
That thing's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they bring that little train, like, engine, like, car
Yeah.
thing. That was, like, really cool.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's real. Like, you can tell it's real, dude.
Yeah. And just the filmmaking is on a whole nother level, man.
I know. He's so creative, dude. Like, I fucking... But, like, every Altman movie, like, he's able to fucking mix the absurdities and tragedies and happiness of life, like, really seamlessly. You know? I think he's so good at that. Cool things about, like, the behind the scenes of this, it makes sense when you watch it and you think about it, but, like, Altman wanted to have, like a very distinct look to this film.
Yeah.
So him and the cinematographer went back in post and kind of, I think they, like, whitewashed a lot of the film to give it this, like, very unique kind of look, like this dirty white look to it. And the only time that ends is at the end in the shootout, where it's, like, kind of clear. And it clears up the film. So it has, like, a very different look to it when, like, when Warren Beatty wakes up on that last day.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of the movie is
I know.
is when the fire starts in the church.
Yeah.
And there's the chase through the snow and all those, like, shots of him, like, running through the snow, and, like, that it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was
really
amazing.
was.
Yeah.
And Julie Christie's good in this too. Like, her whole storyline with, like, how she kind of betters him too. He knows it.
Yeah.
But he can't win her over because she's just for the streets, as you would say.
Yeah, well, the whole dynamic of why it's called McCabe and Mrs. Miller is because he's starting this town, and they only have, like, a couple whores there for the men, and basically she makes a proposition to him, like, hey, let's become partners. Like, you know, you can build, all you have to do is build a whorehouse, and I'll bring the girls, and you don't have to worry about, like, them being in order, or you don't have to worry about, like, them, like, being clean or not, because, you know, we're gonna check them. I'll take care of all the girls, and I'll bring the best girls ever, and then, like, it'll just be like a flourishing town. And that's basically what it is. It's like a partnership between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
You know, which is, like, fucking pretty interesting for the time, you know, for 1971.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is, like, that's, like, the whole idea is that she's the head madam of the whorehouse.
Yeah, she is.
And she's also an opium addict.
Yeah, she very much is.
And
he's also illiterate, you know? Like, he's like that's the thing I love too, is, like, the whole movie you're kind of, like, questioning, like, who is this guy? Like, you hear all the stories about him when he comes in. It's like, it's fucking Warren Beatty. Like, he's gonna be cool, you know what I mean? Like, at the end, it's kind of like, I don't want to spoil it, but it's like, he's just not. He's not.
Like, do they ever, like, I mean, do they ever hook up? Like, they sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, no, they sleep together.
Yeah, they sleep together in the same bed and everything, you know?
No, but I think they hook up. I think that's... Yeah, I think they hook up. But he's like, kind of... He's like an illiterate dude, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was really interesting. I really fucking fucked with this movie, too. I hope you guys, too. Do, too. You should watch it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, it's on the Criterion for a reason. And also, I gotta say, like, dude, There Will Be Blood. This is like There Will Be Blood, dude.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, some guy fucking builds up a whole town.
Yeah, this guy builds up a whole town, and there's, like, these big companies coming in trying to buy it, and he's just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know? And that whole scene where he's like, oh, what? Like, what does he say about the frog?
He always says this, like, fucking saying, and it never makes any sense, but he's like, you know, if a frog had wings, it wouldn't hit its ass so much on the way down. It never makes... He doesn't even know what he's saying, but he's just, like, says that to every person to try to, like, fill in the blank, you know?
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah. Facts, too.
Yeah, Warren Beatty, New Hollywood legend, pretty much is like a figurehead of New Hollywood, if you don't know, when he made Bonnie and Clyde as well. And this is, like, there's no better era than that when it comes to American Hollywood cinema, dude. There's just nothing like it.
he fucking launched Hollywood into the fucking new age.
Yeah.
And
Robert Altman,
love him or hate him, fucking, you know, if you just know him from La La Land debacle at the Oscars, like, you're fucking missing out, because this guy is like,
bro,
he's
he's
done more for cinema than like anyone that you know that's alive right now.
Yeah, dude, this movie, like, Warren Beatty shits on fucking La La Land.
Yeah.
Like, man, we talk about Robert Altman a lot on this channel, but the reason why we do it is because he's the fucking GOAT, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's the underrated GOAT, you know? Like, when you think about new wave Hollywood new wave, you think about, like, Scorsese, you think about George Lucas, Spielberg, De Palma, Coppola, you know, and where all those guys, you know, they're great, but, like, really Robert Altman is, like, such a fucking staple of that era, man.
Dude, he really is. Dude, he's the one guy that came in with some real fucking experience, with some real life experience.
Yeah.
And he's able to profit off of, like, the kind of freedom that New Hollywood is giving these directors. And he's a guy that's been fucking waiting for the shot. He's been shooting TV shows. He's been doing all this shit. He's not some fucking William Friedkin ass bullshit, you know?
Whoa.
I love Friedkin, dude.
Yeah, let's...
But fucking Altman is amazing. He's better, dude. He's just better, dude. He's fucking...
Well, he just has the life experience.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's coming in as a middle-aged guy into Hollywood, and he's just, like, putting everything he knows from life into these real... Like, it just feels like real life.
Yeah.
Not like, you know, entertaining movie type stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like real life characters interacting in the real world. They just the characters feel so fleshed out.
Yeah.
You know? And
it's crazy. Like, I think he writes fucking women so well. And I don't expect that from him, because he kind of was like a fucking chauvinist womanizer in a way, from what people have said. But like,
was he a drunk or no?
Yeah,
he was.
He was a drunk. Yeah, he was a drunk.
He was kind of like a burly kind of guy.
He was a burly guy. He was super into fucking politics. He would always have a TV in his hotel room, and he would, whenever there was like the Nixon Watergate scandal or something, he would be so tuned in to like all of that. You'd be watching football every Sunday.
Yeah, and this movie is also a critique on capitalism.
Yeah, it is.
Like, what does his movie say about America in the period when it came out? What would you say? Like, what would you say?
I say that it's like the fucking little guys getting screwed over, for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like you can't be too successful.
Yeah.
In a way, it's like really weird. Like, you can't be too successful in America, or else like without someone coming and taking it. It's like such a commentary.
Yeah.
On that, it's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. What a great movie, man.
Seriously, dude.
Like,
seriously.
You know, yeah, underrated gem, guys. You know, you might think this movie's fucking boring, but like, fucking read books for once, you know?